Sometimes we forget why we're here. It's easy to fall off track. These help us remember.
YouTube, what's going on, guys? Iggy MB5679 checking in. Real quick, then I'm checking back out. You know, I got the shades on because I'm about to roll out the crib real quick. You never believe what I just came by, too. You know, I went to my mom's crib. Look at that. That's the county bracelets right there, man. See that? See that? Look at me, cuz. Oh, man. This is when I went upstate. This is when I went to prison. Oh, man, that's funny. Another thing I want to show you guys, because I got released from the hole. I maxed out from the penitentiary hole. Look what I found at my mom's the other day. See, these right here is what I got released in, man. These are state-issued Browns, man. So right here is where your DOC number would go. In the penitentiary, this is what you wear in the yard. You know what I mean? Because I got released from the hole. You know what I mean? Usually, you give your sweats away. You know what I mean? You would give these away, man. Just so everyone know. Man, there's a lot of people that ain't got nothing, man. You leave these, man. I was in the hole, and I was up Camp Hill, and they're really, really asshole guards. They wouldn't let me leave these for no one. Plus, I didn't have it on yet because I was in my orange jumpsuit. So when I was getting released, as I maxed out, I threw my sweats on, and that's what I walked out in. You know, and that's why I got that box that I showed on Lockdown 2031. I had my box full of paper, got the net bag and stuff. Like, this is what you keep your commissary in right here. See, stuff like this. This is where you would keep your commissary in these. Laundry, extra laundry. That's like all my meals. So I walked out in that with my box. Now, where I was, there was mice everywhere. So we would have to keep our commissary in the net bag, and then you have to hook your net bag up on the wall so the mice don't get it on the floor. You know what I mean? You'd have to hook it up so it'd be in the air. But guys, got some good news, man. And we got some bad news to go with this. I'm looking at this like a sign, and I'm looking at it as a bad sign. Good sign, bad sign. Well, check this out, man. Gotta give a shout out to the boy Joe on After Prison Show, man. Yo, my man is making noise. Listen, this ain't clout chasing or nothing. I'm just paying homage, man. You know what I mean? Because this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about, guys. It's about being heard. You know what I'm saying? The prisoners, man, the inmates, man, they ain't heard, man. They go years, life. No one ever hears them. You know what I mean? You don't want to file grievances and shit in jail, because then you're going to have drama. The guard's going to be on your ass. Then you file a grievance. You look at it like, depending on the situation. If it's like commissary, they burnt you for money. All right, file a grievance, get your money back. But like, you can't file a grievance on the guard, because then you're like telling. You know what I mean? You can't do that. Plus, if you do, the guards are going to give you problems. So, basically, you're kept quiet. You can't be heard in prison. And, man, we come out here, we're all making these prison channels, you know what I mean? And I started watching Lockdown 23-1. He was the first one I ever seen. And then I seen Joe, After Prison Show Joe, which he actually has the most subscribers that I've ever seen. I've seen a couple other channels. But now it's like everyone's coming out with all these channels, which is cool no. But my man made the Washington Post, man. You got to give him love for that, man. But in the same token, we're going to get to something else. Bad news. But listen to good news first. We're going to read this together, guys. Yes, YouTuber After Prison Show Joe is in the Washington Post, made mainstream media. Check this out, man. This is love, man. You got to love this, man. You got to love seeing somebody, you know what I mean, that done 7 years, you know what I mean, changed his life, helping people. You know what I mean? You got to love seeing that, man. Like, it shows you that it's possible. You know what I mean? Anything's possible. And just because you're in jail don't make you a damn bad person. You know what I mean? It's the rapists and the pedophiles that keep getting out of jail and then go back for the same shit. And they're the ones that keep getting out. You know what I mean? I get caught with a couple bricks of dope. And I'm talking about Pittsburgh bricks. Remember that? And I know Kilo. I'm talking about Pittsburgh. I'm doing 10 years, bro. 10 years, bro. I get caught with a pistol. I'm doing 7 years mandatory. 7 years mandatory. I get caught with one pistol. Let it be loaded gun. I'm done. They're going to career criminal me. Don't career me. I'm telling you, man. Check it out, man. This is sweet. I love it. I love seeing this, man. The boy hit mainstream media. YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if we can flip this over. It ain't flipping. Alright, let's jump right into the... I'm going to set this up so you guys can see. Like I said, man, shout out to After Prison Show Joe, man. I salute, man. Congratulations. This is good shit, man. I'm happy for you, buddy. I'm happy to see this, man. I'm happy to see this. And then shout out to my man Lockdown, Def, man. Everyone else that's doing their thing out here. You come out of penitentiary and you doing your thing, man. I salute, man. Hey, man. All praise be to God, because, man, without him, none of this be possible, man. None of this be possible. You know what I mean? And I'm on the other side of prison channel. I'm doing prison, and I'm trying to put the truth out there. I'm trying to wake people up to the corruption and not only what goes on inside the prison system and the guards and all that bullshit and the laws being broken, bent, and then they're saying they call us the convicts. Meanwhile, the criminals is the guards, and you know what I mean, all that. I'm trying to also wake people up to them spraying shit in the sky and censorship all over mainstream media that you talk about. Iggy MB5679, welcome to the channel. Like, share, subscribe if you kindly could, and if you don't, that's okay too. I appreciate your time and I value it. The latest YouTube craze, videos that show you what it's like to live in prison. Prison channels on YouTube have more than 2.1 million subscribers. At the end of his 7-year sentence for cocaine and firearm possession in 2015, Joe Guerrero was 32 years old and directionless. The Virginia native had spent much of his adult life wrestling with the state's criminal justice system. The result, he now says, of a drug addiction that began in his teens and led to years of robbery, partying, and destructive behavior. Lacking a career or any professional credentials, suffering from anxiety that made it difficult to leave home, his relationship with his family on the verge of collapse, Guerrero feared he was destined to return to prison. As a last-ditch effort to prove, if only to himself, that he was trying to repair his life, the former inmate began documenting his struggle to reintegrate into society on YouTube. He filmed visits to temp agency and posted videos discussing the frustration with probation. When he needed a new discount wardrobe at Ross Dress for Less, Guerrero brought his camera with him. At first, nobody seemed to notice. And then, 7 months after he started, Guerrero posted a video about how to make a prison tattoo gun. The clip went viral, eventually racking up 2.3 million views. 3 years and more than 700 videos later, what began as a series of grainy, amateurish vlogs has blossomed into a YouTube channel with 1.2 million subscribers called The After Prison Show. Guerrero's channel now is his full-time job, netting him a 6-figure income that allowed him to quit his most recent job as a laborer at a concrete factory. Until now, my life had been a constant failure, said Guerrero, whose social media experience before prison was limited to MySpace. I told myself that if I'm going to make it this time, if I'm going to fail, I want to show people what it's like. A lot of people have no idea what it's like to serve time and then try and restart their life. The After Prison Show is the flagship among the growing number of YouTube channels devoted to the gritty reality of life in prison. The growing popularity has arrived at a time when prison figures prominently in the American psyche. So am I saying that right? With 698 Americans behind bars for every 100,000 residents, the United States locks up more people per capita than any other nation on earth. Remember, I just told you guys that in my video earlier. We have the most prisoners in the world, and my state, Pennsylvania, is in the top 3. According to the Prison Policy Initiative, a non-profit organization that studies the impact of mass criminalization, combining state and federal prison populations with jails, immigrations, detention centers, and facilities holding juveniles. The organization claims there are about 2.3 million people confined nationwide. Everyone in America right now has a family member or a friend or knows someone in prison. And Sean Atwood, a former drug dealer whose YouTube channel focused on the brutality of prison life, has more than 175,000 subscribers. Who's that? Sean Atwood. I don't know that one. Look at the incarceration rate. It's off the scale compared to the rest of the world, and that's a function of the insane war on drugs. Collectively, the four most popular prison channels on YouTube have more than 2.1 million subscribers and about 342 million page views. Devoted fans routinely leave thousands of comments under high-traffic videos and correspond with the channel's host via email and fan mail. Run by a handful of charismatic former convicts, the channels offer a rare window into a myth-filled world defined by trite television tropes and Hollywood screenplays, part out of guides and part horror. Sorry, guys. Their videos teach viewers how to battle and use the bathroom in prison, defend against sexual assault, negotiate with gang members, and make prison-style pizza using ramen noodles, trash bag, and Doritos. There are videos offering advice on how to survive in prison riots. Don't sit down prematurely and stay away from trigger-happy guards. The proper etiquette for standing in a prison shower, and how to use peanut butter to hide contraband. The videos have been shown in college classrooms studying criminal justice. What? And used as see, that's what we got to be careful with, guys. The videos have been shown in college classrooms studying criminal justice. Guys, that's what we got to be careful with, man. We don't want to get people caught, though, man. That's the only thing. But, you know, everything we talk about, man, they know already. 1 and 2, I'm going to tell you what, if they don't know, it's always a snitch in jail. Everything they find out where I was at in prison, listen to me. Listen to me when I tell you that. Everything the cops know in jail, everything the cops know on the street is because of us. Everything. You hear me? Every single thing that the cops learned during their investigations, and every security officer inside these penitentiaries know their intel from snitches, man. That's how they know everything. If it wasn't for us, and what I mean by us is them rat-ass dudes that used to be one of us, and then they turn around and they tell, that's how they find everything out, man. And that's facts. Ask somebody. My bad. My bad. I'm hyped up. Every college in America should have a class that features big hair, said Kevin Boyle, retired Army colonel and former judge advocate who teaches at American University School of Public Affairs. He's had Timmons speak to his deprivation of liberty class multiple times. You can go on a prison tour, but to have somebody who is really authentic talk freely about that world is a totally different experience, he said. That the rise of the YouTube channels coincides with efforts to reform the criminal justice system and decrease mandatory prison sentences and uprising, said Don K. Cecil, an associate professor of criminology at the University of South Florida. Though the United States is home to thousands of prisons, those facilities and the stories inside them remained off limits to outsiders till the onset of the internet and social media, she said. First came Orange is the New Black, author Piper Kerman's memoir documenting a 1-year stint inside a federal women's prison, which was adapted in 2013 as a hit Netflix series by the same name. Now, guys, that's some Netflix shit. If you want to see about real women prison, just look at the video I uploaded right before this and the part 1 of that with my mother in Florida State Prison. You want to know about men prison? Stick on the channel. Go find out the other people death at the prison show. Don't be watching on Netflix, because that ain't the real deal, my man. That ain't the real deal. That's acting. This shit ain't no acting. This is real life. This is reality TV without the script. Other media efforts follow. Ear Hustle, an award-winning podcast produced by San Quentin State Prison inmates serving time for robbery. I don't know about this one. Offers listeners an unvarnished glimpse inside prison culture, and this month Netflix premiered Jailbirds, a 6-part docuseries about the complex and violent world of female inmates in the Sacramento County Jail. Okay, all I gotta say is anything on TV is not only is it censored, but it's all scripted in a way. It's all turned in a way to make a narrative. You understand what I'm saying? Like, not that YouTubers don't do that, but the prison channels on here, you're hearing what really goes on. TV is gonna flip it into like some type of movie type shit, man. F all that. The YouTube videos allow prisoners and ex-prisoners to reclaim their own narrative, Cecil said, and that's helped feed the reform movement. We are becoming more familiar with the life behind bars and the people who end up there, Cecil said. There's a humanization process going on, and it's good because we're realizing that these are not necessarily evil people. Most of them are like you and me, and we'd make a couple different decisions. Exactly. Thank you. Though the channels clearly appeal to appeal to grim curiosity among viewers, hosts say their often controversial consent attracts a surprisingly wide audience. Viewers include curious former inmates who turn to YouTube for a sense of community, relatives who want to know what their loved ones are experiencing behind bars, and white-collar criminals preparing to serve time. A lot of our audience was originally ex-prisoners, but now we're starting to get people from the outside who have never entertained life in prison. People who come from a more productive environment and they're watching the show and leaving comments and questions, Timmons says. Like Guerrero, Timmons considers himself lucky. In February 2000, Timmons was 24 years old and living in LA. Though he dreamed of starting a successful record label, the bodybuilder with the playful, boyish face was drifting through life, occasionally dabbling in porn to make ends meet. On a whim, Timmons agreed to rob a bank outside Calabasas, Calabasas, with two other men. The crew modeled the haphazard plan after the 1995 bank heist thriller Heat, starring Robert De Niro. Though sloppy, the robbery was briefly successful, netting the trio $94,000, which they stuffed inside a bag, but a swarm of police spotted the men as they fled in a bright red Lincoln Navigator. A high-speed chase up California's U.S. Highway 101 ensued, a wall of police cars and a helicopter in a close pursuit. 30 miles later, police brought a vehicle to stop using a spike strip, and its occupants scattered on foot. Timmons scrambled up an embankment and headed toward the Ventura Pier, a popular boardwalk jutting into the Pacific Ocean. It would prove to be his last few minutes of freedom for much of the next decade. A few minutes later, Timmons was lying face down in the sand in handcuffs. In that moment, I just thought, what have I done? What was the point? He said. I just remember looking at the ocean and thinking, this is the last time I'm going to see the ocean for a long, long time. Timmons served just under 9 years in federal prison, where he amassed a library of harrowing personal stories that he now shares with his fans on YouTube. For some viewers, the brutish tales of life behind bars are curiosity that keeps them clicking. But for others, like Malik Rahim, the videos have proved far more meaningful. After being wrongfully imprisoned on a robbery charge in 2017 and placed in isolation for days, Rahim says he lost his job and his life began to unravel. Broke, depressed, and afraid of being misidentified by police each time he stepped outside. The 23-year-old San Francisco locked himself in his room and started abusing Xanax and cocaine. At one point he said he didn't even get a haircut for months. Rahim was haunted by experiences in jail, which he blames on racial profiling. One thing can happen to you, and like the snap of a finger, everything can be taken away from you, he said. I thought I was going to prison for something I didn't do. He said his recovery began with Timmons' video, many of which implore viewers to stop feeling sorry for themselves and take control of their lives, even amid dire circumstances. If Timmons can survive a lengthy prison bid, he frequently reminds his viewers they can overcome their struggles on the outside. Anyone can. Remember that. Rahim said it was a message he badly needed, especially from someone he could relate to. Damn, I could relate. I pretty much have not had any black males in my life that I can hear some of this stuff from, said Rahim, who hasn't lived with his father in a decade. It's different from a white man saying, stop feeling sorry for yourself. It meant more to me because it was coming from him, and he is someone who never gave up on himself. Rahim eventually got a new job as equipment maintenance technician and moved out of his mother's home, where he returned in 2018 after he could no longer pay his rent. He has a new car and has applied to San Francisco State University, drawing strength from Timmons, whom he's been corresponding with via email. He says he's rebuilding his life piece by piece. Here, told me as long as you still have your youth, whatever happens is a challenge you can overcome, Rahim said. He says the only thing that's not replaceable is your time, and he would know. And I concur. One thing they won't give back is that time, my man. One thing they won't give back is that time. You know what I mean? You can replace the house, you can replace the car, you can replace the girl, the wife. You can replace all that. You can't replace your kids' first steps. You can't replace missing your kids being born. But that's a moment. And with every moment passes, you'll never get back again. And as you know, every moment is time. So it all comes down to time. Materialistic things you can get back. Time is what you'll never, ever get back. They don't give that back. And I get that. We all made our mistakes. We all did the time. I get it. I'm just concurring to that. I co-sign that, man. Look, man, I'm happy for these people. You know what I'm saying? I can relate. Everyone out there always say, oh, man, Iggy, why you reliving that? Why you reliving that? Well, you don't understand. It's therapeutic to me, for one. And for two, who knows who it might help, you know? Who knows who it might help? Maybe some of you guys will understand what I was saying now. Because this is a perfect testimony of what I've been trying to explain to you. That just maybe one person might hear and they might understand. And at the same time, it keeps me from snapping. It keeps me from feeling like I'm stuck in this room. And like, you guys don't understand it all right now. I haven't really opened up, but like, it's post-traumatic stress is what it is, and it's weird. It's like a weird feeling. It's weird. It's like anxiety, social anxiety, separation anxiety. It's a weird feeling, and it makes me snap. I don't know how to cope with it, so I just snap. I'm hard-headed. I don't know how to deal with it, but I'm getting better with it. And one thing that helps is this. You know, something that helped in prison for me was writing the poetry. I would write poetry. I'd write poetry for people. I'd write poems to girls. You know what I mean? That was my bid. That's what I did. I'd play the phone, and then of course I did my shit with the drugs. And that was my bid. That's what I did. And that's the most stories I got to tell about are about that. And that's why. You know what I mean? I'm not no gangbanger. I didn't get into gang banging. I got in fights. I got sliced one time. Like, it just happened. But I didn't want to get into that. I told you what I was getting into. And, you know, it humbled me. It changed me. You know, it changed me forever. Like, it changed me forever. You know, but man, look, I salute to you, Joe, man, and everyone else's name I said in here. I don't remember you guys' names. I didn't really see anyone's channel but Joe's. But hey, man, that's what's up, bro. I salute to you for that, man. Hey, keep doing your thing, bro. Keep doing your thing, man. Amen. And guys, on the other note of this, I'm gonna save it for the live stream tonight. But if you haven't heard, there's another article out in the mainstream media of how YouTube is about to crack down on certain channels. If you bring up matter of fact, we're just going to get into it tonight. You bring up certain things, they're kicking you off YouTube. There's an article out. We'll get into it tonight on live stream. This is Iggy MB5679. I thank you guys for coming. Hit that like, share, subscribe for me. The best thing you could do is share, man. Get the word out, man. Spread the love on this situation so all these dudes can be heard, man. Spread the love, man. Love y'all, man. Iggy, I'm out of here.